Can I just say that I am so proud of that opening?
Yay! How long did it take you to do that, Britt?
So it was actually a really weird story. My cat came in my room about like what time is it? It was 3 in the morning. The cat just pushed
Okay.
open my door, and I just was like, you know what? I want to make an opening for Beautiful Broken. And then at 3 o'clock in the morning, I just like went online, and then I bought an editing software, and then I found like a video platform that I forget what it's called, but I can use that they recorded. Um,
Yeah.
and I just put it together. So it probably took me like honestly, I think I started at 3 in the morning and I finished at 12 in the afternoon.
Oh my gosh, there's nothing like better than slash worse than when you have something in your mind and you need to get it done, even if it's at 3 o'clock in the morning.
I don't even know with this quarantine time. It's like time doesn't really exist, and it does like
Right.
I slept all day. I literally woke up at like I don't know, like 2 in the afternoon, and I was like, I have nowhere to be. I have nothing like I need to do. It's not like I have work that needs to get done. So I just kind of
Mm-hmm.
just I'm just rolling with it. How are you doing though?
Yeah. Good. I'm starting. I was doing like so good, and I'm still like being really busy and doing a bunch of different projects and stuff like that. But today was like the first day I went to Stop and Shop, and it took like hours to get everything. Everyone's wearing masks. You have to like walk certain ways because of the arrows and stuff. And I've been like so just secluded in my own home that I've just have feel like I'm like have no clue what's going on, of course, unless I turn on the news. And finally, I was just like out in the public, and it's just like so overwhelming. And I almost like feel guilty because everything that everyone's going through, the nurses and everything else, and I'm just so have no clue really, just because I'm just staying in my home because I'm grateful enough to do that. So today was a little emotionally exhausting, but here we are. We're going to get through this, everyone. And I pray every day for the people that have to deal with it, firsthand. So,
Right, definitely. I mean, first off, I want to say hi to our beautiful broken family. Thank you for tuning in today.
yeah.
I'm super excited about our guest, Kristen Danelli. She is absolutely incredible. In a couple minutes, we're definitely going to bring her in. But before we get there, this time, oh yeah, there she is. She is the co-founder of Soul Business Network. I'm going to let her explain that all to you. But before we get into that, just to kind of touch base, Kylie, with what you said, it's definitely this time is just hard. Like it is so
Yeah.
hard, and especially for empaths who just feel and love to love people. It's almost like for our own sanity, we kind of have to take a break from all the pain in the world because it's overwhelming. And I think that
Yeah.
it takes a lot of courage for you to admit that and for you to say like,
Mm-hmm.
I'm kind of faced with reality and it's hard to see.
Yeah.
It's hard to see.
Yeah, I mean, it just goes back to what we've been saying since the beginning. Just feel our feelings, let it out. It's okay to be sad. It's okay to be overwhelmed. As long as we pick ourselves back up and, we have a better, more positive mindset the next day. Pretty much what Beautiful Broken is all about. And it's just going to be that much better when we're all able to be together. And I'm sure people are really feeling more grateful than they have in quite some time, in the sense of not realizing what we were able to do, being able to walk into a store without wearing a mask or without wearing gloves. So, I can keep saying it over and over again, but at the end of the day, we just got to stay strong for each other. And we'll all get through this for sure. I just miss everyone. Like you said, it's hard when you're such a loving person. I didn't realize how much my emotions and my mood is based on the people that I surround myself with. And as much as I love my family, we're getting a little crazy having been cooped up together for the last 40 days or however long it's been.
Yeah, it's definitely. I've been seeing people post on social media. They're like, "Can we just like switch families for like a couple days?"
I know, right? And honestly, my family's been great. Like we've been really good. No one has gotten any fights, which is surprising. And we've been like playing games and stuff like that. So it's good. But I'm really excited about today's show. I'm really excited about our guest. I think she's gonna give our viewers some great insight. And it's really, all about the message that we try and give our audience every time we come on to Beautiful Broken's platform.
Right, and that's the thing that so it's all about emotional intelligence. It's all about taking your negative energy and taking the sadness that you may feel and then controlling it and learning how to kind of focus on positive things and making sure that you're in control of your emotions. And during this time right now is the number one time where people need to get a hold of that, and they really need to learn, like, okay, I'm angry. Why am I angry? I'm sad. Why am I sad? And then they need to stop and really honestly self-reflect on how can I focus on something else that's going to make me feel different. And Kristen, our guest, is going to teach us all about that. So I cannot wait.
Yeah, no, I'm super excited. I don't really know a lot about her besides what you have told me, and what today's topic and message is all about. So I'm really excited to kind of, be a host on the show, but also, be a listener too and get something out of it as well. That's always fun. That's what I love about the show, because we bring on these great guests and, we talk to them and we self-reflect too at the same time. We leave getting something out of it as well. And I think that's why it's so great.
Yeah, and every guest we have on the show, I pick very specifically because they have something that they lived. It's not just I read in books or I did this. It's her life experience. It's her story. It is real, and it's coming right out of her mouth. So you're going to be able to learn, okay, if this woman did it in her life, then I'll be able to do it in mine. So let's go to a quick commercial break, and then we will bring her in.
Yay!
Hey, look, it's those guys.
What's good? What's up? What's happening today?
Let's do those pearly whites, man.
Yeah! The boys, check it out.
Stand up, do my challenge, go compare us.
Ooh, cute.
Are you good to try?
I'm fine.
Hey girl, what's up? What's your name? What's good? What's up?
How many did you have?
I should be fine.
You should be.
Sir, go and step out of the vehicle for me.
Yes, sir. See ya, buddy. Today, Sean's got a hearing. We'll see how it goes. Good luck. So turns out, buzz driving and drunk driving, they're the same thing, and it costs around $10,000. So not worth it.
Dad?
Just 1 minute, okay?
Hey, Bobo, do trees tell each other stories?
I'm sorry. I'm afraid I don't know that.
Hey, why don't we go find out? Listen.
Do clouds take naps?
I couldn't tell you.
Can birds draw pictures?
I don't have an answer for that.
Dad, do stars visit their friends?
Look!
Welcome back, everybody, to Beautiful Broken. I'm Brittany Mahan, and I'm with my co-host, Kylie, per usual.
Hello.
And I want to bring in our lovely guest, Kristen Daniele. Kristen, how are you doing today?
Hello, ladies. I'm doing so wonderful. Thank you so much for having me on Beautiful Broken. I am honored and excited to share this space and this opportunity with you guys tonight.
So, Kylie, just a little background information on how me and Kristen met. We actually have a mutual friend, Brittany, and the producer, Mike, actually knows her, Brittany Balsari.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, and she reached out to me and was like, I have the absolute perfect guest for you. Her name's Kristen. Like, just sends me her Instagram. She's like, check her out. And I'm going through everything. And I was like, I need her number. I need to call her right now.
Yes, I love that. We're so happy to have you.
Puts us in a group chat. I reach out to Kristen. Me and Kristen have a phone call for an hour, and she tells me like, I could listen to her talk forever. She just has so much knowledge. She has so much to say. Her soul is so bright. It is so positive. And a lot of people watching this, if you're feeling down, if you're stressed out, if you're lonely, this is the episode for you. So definitely, I'm excited she's here. So Kristen, do you want to kind of give our audience like a background on where your journey kind of began?
Yeah, absolutely. So, I mean, it's always kind of hard to start at one point, but I believe where I should start is kind of when I got tired of my own crap, where just like most people, I think the one thing we want more than anything in the world is to love and be loved, but it's the one thing that we're most afraid to experience because we don't want to lose it. So we're afraid to be vulnerable. And there was a time in my life, if you can believe it, if you see all of my stuff now and how open I am about my journey, that I wasn't very vulnerable and I was afraid to share and open myself up and open my heart up. And so I kept a lot very close to my chest. And I was at a point in my life where I had to start taking responsibility for my own life. I had to start to notice where the recurring patterns were in my life and where I was the common denominator, because I would enter into these almost relationships or I would attract, people and things into my life that, although I was a positive person, they just weren't truly a reflection of what I really desired on the inside. And so at that point in my life, it was like, I need to make a change. And, sadly in life, we're usually brought to pain in order to actually change. But my hope through my own experience and when I am working with people is to hopefully allow them the opportunity through hearing my story to make conscious change in advance of being brought to that heartbreak or that pain or just suffering when you don't have to suffer. And so that's part of why I am so open about sharing my story. But I was at a place in my life where I was not talking to myself very kindly. I was not treating my mind, body, and soul very well. I was in a job that was not fulfilling and not meaningful. And I was starting to have a super lot of anxiety. So I was experiencing a lot of physical dis-ease at the time. And, I believe that our minds communicate with us through our thoughts, feelings, and emotions, but our body, our physical conduit, communicates with us through physical dis-ease, anxiety, depression, and it screams out to us if we don't listen. If you're anything like me, you're someone that pushes yourself, never stops, keeps going, high achiever, recovering perfectionist here. So it's really all about actually being able to stop for a second and listen. And that's kind of what started to unravel that feeling of dis-ease, that feeling of anxiety. It was a mixture of attracting these types of relationships that were not serving me for my greatest and highest good, whether it was romantic partnerships, friendships, to being in a job that was sucking the life out of me, and that no longer just a whisper, it was like a loud bump at this point, and I had to make a change. And really that's kind of where I feel like my life started to change, when I was able to take radical responsibility for my life, make the decision to leave behind my corporate career, make the decision to really start discovering who I was. Who is Kristen? What does she do? I woke up and felt like I was 28 years old. I felt like I was an imposter in my own life. I had done all of the things that I should do. I had the degrees, I had the MBA, I had the jobs, I had the money, I had everything. There was still something missing. So I really thought, what do I want? What does Kristen truly desire in this world? And when I started to discover and uncover and truly understand who I was at a deep soul level, things in my life started to change. So I really detached from the outside. I detached from finding a soulmate. I detached from finding the most amazing opportunity. And I just started to embody and embrace and live in the truth of who I am. And the last thing I'll say about that is, for many years in my life, I've been through a lot in my life. I've experienced a lot of adversity, a lot of pain, a lot of loss. I come from two addicts. I was always more of a parent than a child. So I had a lot of trauma and abandonment that I never truly dealt with because I wanted to be strong and I didn't want to feel it. So I was running from it in a lot of ways, whether it was through drinking or partying or just relationships that didn't serve me or friendships that didn't serve me. I was doing all of those things. And it was through those that I really started to see, like, what do I want, and and how can I actually be the creator of my own life, get where I'm going. So it's really just all about being able to see that although you have experienced a lot, when you start to shift your perspective and take responsibility, things will change. So for me, that was like a really big indicator for me to start to actually shift and change and evolve into the life that I live now without, someone else doing it.
Right. And I think that's like the number one thing that a lot of people struggle with is finding that responsibility and taking that responsibility and noticing that if you have relationship after relationship after relationship and they fail, I mean, you're the only constant person in every relationship. So the people that just want to blame their exes, like, I've been cheated on, I've been lied to, I've been manipulated, like, the whole whatever. But at the end of the day, like, even the guy who cheated on me, like, I still have to take ownership of what could I have done better, or what red flags that I didn't see could I have saw to then avoided that pain that you say people get to in order to just like move on to the next chapter in their life. It's like life kind of pushes you into pain for you to then be like, all right, never mind, I get it, like, something has to change.
Yeah. And your external world is truly a direct reflection of your internal world. And I didn't realize that because I was like, well, I'm so positive and I've always had a strong mindset and all of these things, but yet I still wasn't achieving and receiving the things in my life that I desired. Like, I was pushing away every relationship. I was self-sabotaging every relationship. I was going from job and then backpacking trip and then job and then backpacking trip and then you name it. It was like I was just searching and seeking and longing for, something to accept me and love me for all of me, right? So it was like, and that's what I kind of lost the point earlier because I had been talking, but that's what I wanted to get back to was that I had been seeking and searching for someone to love all of me for where I came from. Coming from the two addicts, coming from all the trauma and the abandonment and the loss and everything that I've endured and experienced in my life, that I've always been able to find the adversity, see the adversity as an opportunity to make it positive in my life. But I was like hoping that someone was going to find me. I remember being on the phone crying to my dad, like, who's going to love me? I'm so damaged. I'm so broken. Like, I come from, because I had been in a narcissistic relationship with a man for 3 years when I was younger, that really beat it into me that, no one was ever going to want me and who was ever going to love me. And so like that really, a lot of untraining, unlearning, retraining my brain to say I am worthy, I am lovable was a process in and of itself. But it was like once I realized, and this wasn't just something that happened overnight, but wait, all of this that I've been seeking outside of myself for someone to love all of me, the problem isn't that. The problem is that I have to own and accept who I am, where I've come from. And in order to do that, I have to honor and own where I've come, because I'm not ashamed or embarrassed about where I came from. I'm strong, I'm resilient, I'm capable, I'm independent, like, hell yeah, right? But I didn't always look at it. But I swear that it was that full acceptance. It was that radical acceptance and ownership of who I was, of all aspects of me, not only the beautiful, amazing light parts, but the dark parts, the painful parts, the hurtful stuff that I had always hid from me. And
right.
It was, once I could fully accept that in myself, I opened myself up to a world of opportunity, a world of receiving love, experiencing love, not just in relationship, but in friendship and in life.
Right. And that's the thing that
I love that.
Yeah.
All these points, I'm just like taking it in, but you're making so many great points that I just think are just so amazing. So I'm sorry, I just had to say that.
No, but that's the truth of a lot of people is that I think I definitely used to be a perfectionist, Kylie. I think you can definitely relate that.
Still am.
When you get on this journey where you want to be your best self, you get a little snobbish where like you're like, oh, I don't drink anymore. Like, I don't smoke anymore. Like, you're a smoker and a drinker. Ugh, like, I remember those days. And it just kind of, it's like, you're not perfect. Like, you're still human. And I think the hardest part of this journey is seeing your worst sides and having to love those worst sides. Because if you don't love those worst sides, you'll never get to the point where you feel whole internally and that you are worthy and that you are loved. Let me ask you this, have you heard of the book Queenology?
I haven't.
Oh my goodness. Okay. I literally started it. I started it yesterday. It's 8 chapters. It's like 220 pages. And I read 6 chapters already, like yesterday. Like it was 114 pages. I couldn't put the book down.
Oh my goodness.
So the whole book, basically, just like one example they say is the speaker was standing in front of an audience and he whipped out a $100 bill. And he asked the audience, how much is this $100 bill worth? And everyone was like, $100. And then he threw it on the ground and he stepped on it. And he said, now how much is this $100 bill worth? And the audience said $100. Then he picked it up and he crumbled the $100 and he threw it on the ground. And he said, how much is this $100 bill worth? And everyone said $100. Now he picked up the $100 bill and he ripped it down the middle. And like everyone in the audience flipped out. And then he taped it back together. And he said, now how much is this $100 bill worth? And everyone in the audience said $100. And I love that analogy because that's us as humans. It doesn't matter how broken we are. It doesn't matter how abused we've been. Like our value is still priceless. And we have so much to offer as long as we truly, in our heart, mind, and soul, believe that we do. And unfortunately, a lot of people don't believe that.
Yeah.
And it shows how powerful we are, too. To have that choice, to make those decisions, to want to be better, to want to do the right thing. No one else has that choice besides our own self, which is just so, so powerful. And a point that you said that I loved, you said you were always this, or you thought you were always this happy, positive person, right? But then you just felt this negativity, you had this anxiety inside of you, and you didn't understand it because you thought you were this strong, happy person, right? And I totally get that because for so long, we were this happy little kid. We were this strong person that became strong because of the things that we endured. But at the end of the day, all these emotions and feelings were just kind of chilling in our body. And one day they just come up and they really make you say, okay, I am strong, I am happy, but there's a lot of things internally that I have to fix to really be the happiest that I possibly can consistently. And that is what makes us so powerful, to make the change to fix all of that stuff. When a lot of people they don't understand. And I think it comes back to being intuitive. You have to be intuitive with your mind and your body to understand what's kind of not working and what you can do to, feel better and to be better, essentially.
Kristen, what were the tools that you had that caused you to kind of step away from that victim mindset of, for me, nothing's going to ever change, focused on the negative stuff, and then transition into the light?
Yeah. So to be honest with you, like I never really was a negative person. I think I never got to the root, kind of like Kylie was saying, I never got to the root of the pain. So I just kept, like, I believe in life, we will go through the same lesson over and over again until we decide to say, hey, I've had enough. I've learned enough. And then like throw in the towel and be like, all right, I have to do something about it. And like we're sort of conditioned to go about life in a certain way, sort of on autopilot, right? We're conditioned from a young age to be told what to do most of the time, right? Like we start with parents, and then we go to school, and then we get a job, and we're not really thinking of what we experience in life until like oh, wait, though. I woke up and it was like I can either put my childhood on a shelf, I can put my dreams on a shelf, I can say, screw it, I'm never going to find love, or I'm not going to experience this, or I can actually start to make a change, and do something different. And for me, it started actually through my physical body because I had struggled with unhealthy relationships with exercising, over-exercising, behavior. And I had never thought about how I talked to myself, how I treated myself. No boundaries. I said yes. I was the yes queen. I said yes to everything. I'm a recovering people pleaser. I am an empath and highly sensitive. So I'm always thinking about other people before myself. I'm always, going out on a limb. So I was at this place in my life where I started to actually shift how I treated myself. I started to actually shift how I talked to myself. For 2 years, you guys, and I still do it now because I'm used to it. It's a new habit. I would wake up every single morning and I would say, you are. And it sounds kind of, when I heard about affirmations and stuff like that. But I was retraining my subconscious mind, because our subconscious mind is developed 0 to 7 years old. So a lot of our behavior is unconscious. A lot of our behavior is coming from deep-rooted issues that we haven't even thought about in years. They like, and so, like, once you recognize that aspect, that you're unconscious, think about, like, I always think about this scenario. When we would get in our car and drive to work, how often do you even see where you're going or watch? Because you've just been going there every day. So you kind of get there and you're like, how did I even get here? How did I get to work, right? And it's like the same thing in life. It's like until you wake up to it and realize that you're unconsciously making these decisions and doing these things, you are continued to be run by your subconscious mind. So to be conscious is to be aware. Take what you learned and apply it, right? So it was like I was hearing all of these things, listening to podcasts, reading the book, doing all the stuff. I was always that person. I was into personal development. I was doing it. When I started to shift the relationship with myself, when I started to notice how I talked to myself, when I started to set boundaries, when I started to set energetic boundaries, when I started to keep the promises that I made to myself and not break them just for other people, just to please other people. That was huge for me, because every time that I would keep a promise to myself, I would fill up my confidence bucket and say, I can trust you, Kristen, because when you say that you're going to do something for yourself, like go to the gym or take a walk or go, to on a hike, you do it. You don't forfeit it. But in life, we say, hey, screw it, and put what we want to do second, third, fourth, fifth. Right. Oh yeah, I'm gonna make it to this birthday party, or I'm gonna make it to this dinner. And it wasn't that I didn't necessarily choose one or the other. I just put myself first.
And yes, and that is something I'm 1000% learning, because like both of you, I'm a people pleaser, and it actually like hurts me to not want to help, or not, like, it makes me uncomfortable to put myself first. Like it really, really does. And I'm learning that not everyone deserves to be first in my life. Like, unfortunately, I have lived in a world where I had a lot of people take advantage of me because I always wanted to do whatever they wanted to do. And that's the life of an empath, until you do learn, definitely like you said, Kristen, how to set healthy boundaries. Because I'm going to love you because I love to love, but I'm going to love you from a distance, because if you're about to come up in here and make me not love myself because you're about to be rude, I'm not about it. Like, no.
It's so
and
true.
The boundaries is so important too, like finding those boundaries, because like you said, Brittany, you do want to help the people you love, you know what I mean? You don't want to not help the people you love, but it's all about setting those boundaries. And sometimes you have to hit rock bottom, in a sense, where if you feel like you're getting nothing back from helping these people and you're exhausting yourself more than getting love and whatever it is in return, then you need to think to yourself, okay, something's not working. So I need to give myself this love, and I need to give the people that I love the same love. But I don't know, it's a weird process, you know what I mean? Because I've been through it, so I get it. And right when I understood that I need to give myself more love, and if there's something that I don't feel comfortable doing, I'm not going to do it just because it's going to please that person. No, I don't want to do it, so I'm not going to do it. You know what I mean? And for so long, I felt selfish. For so long, I think people feel selfish for doing that. And then it's like they're sabotaging their own ego, whatever it may be, and it's a toxic circle. But right when you can just set those boundaries and realize, I'm going to love you no matter what, but I'm not going to feel insecure or do something that makes me uncomfortable loving you, if that makes sense.
No, 100%. Me and my mom actually had this conversation, because we're empaths, we don't want anybody to hurt. We want nobody to suffer. We want everyone to feel positive. And so when we set boundaries, you do make somebody feel uncomfortable, because they want to treat you a certain type of way, and you're saying, no, not today, like back up. And that makes them not be in a positive mood. And so us being empaths and wanting everybody to be in a positive mood, we get upset about it. We're like, oh, we hurt their feelings, damn it.
Yeah.
So it's working that out and working how to be an empath who has healthy boundaries. And I think that's the struggle of us.
And just understanding too, at the end of the day, you can only help yourself. At the end of the day, it's how you respond, right? Whatever you do is the only thing that you can change. You can't change how these other people are. You can't change how they react. You can't change how they respond. And that's something that I'm dealing with, like right now to this day, just understanding that the only person I can control is myself. And it's like, it sounds like such a cliche because we've been told this since we were little, but it's so true. The only thing you can do is just know that, you're giving it your all and you're loving with pure intention and a good heart. And the other stuff, what other people do or say, you can't do anything about it. And kind of understand that, like truly, truly understand that you're the only person you can control, and to not let other people's whatever affect you. That's when you'll live lighter.
Right. Kristen, what was your transition? Like, what was the number one thing that once you started going internally? Because people really don't understand that when you, like you said, talk negatively to yourself, when you put yourself down, when you say you're ugly or you're balding or, you look older than you think you are, like, that is
balding.
That's eventually gonna, like, I can't tell you you're good looking if you're sitting there in your room by yourself, rocking yourself to sleep, saying I'm an ugly fat toad. Like, that is not something that I can control. So you're not even gonna take my compliment, and then it's just gonna bounce off you like, I don't know, it's not even gonna stick to you. So how did you learn to accept love for yourself, and what was the transition in your life when you did?
Yeah, that's such a beautiful question. It was really uncomfortable for me at first, to be honest with you, because I didn't okay, so I remember sitting in my car when I was experiencing severe anxiety and I had to pull over. This was right before I left my corporate job. And I remember for the first time thinking to myself, wow, my breath, like our breath, we just have access to. It's our life force, it's vitality.
Right.
Think about it. Yeah. And it was like the first time, I was almost 30 years living. I've never even really thought about my breath. And I started to feel and help myself with my breath. And it's the same thing that I started to experience. I was my awakening, and I was really starting to look in. And I always say my journey inward, right? Because that's right. It's a perpetual journey. It's ongoing. It is evolving and changing, and there's always another layer to peel back. But I didn't realize how I had to treat myself. And I was right after I left my job, I brought it on the creative marketing for Adobe. That opportunity. Once you make the decision, to follow your heart and follow the path of your heart and take the leap of faith, opportunities will start to present themselves.
Yes.
Yeah. Through that opportunity, I was offered a yoga teacher training, and I didn't even go in with the intention of wanting to be a teacher. I went in with the intention for personal development reason. And through the practice of yoga and through this experience of being in a container with other women and a mentor that created a safe space, like I like to call it a container, a safe space for me to meet my essence again for the first time in years, for me to be able to stand boldly in my truth around people that saw me for the first time in a long time. Like, I didn't even realize how I was treating myself. I didn't realize. And one of the exercises that we did, which I highly encourage anyone out there, if they either want a good cry or need to release or really want to know what it feels like to love yourself on a deep level. But we listened to this song called In Dreams by Jai Jagdish.
In Dreams? I'm writing it down.
It's called In Dreams. And our mentor had us listen to that song, but listen to it back as if we were singing it to ourselves. And I can't tell you, like, it seems like you talked about, Kylie, like these cliche things, right? But at the end of the day, it's all back to basics. It's all sacred wisdom. And it is the cliches. It is the things that seem so simple, right? Because simple doesn't mean easy. Simple does not mean easy, but it is the simple things in life that make the most profound difference in our lives. It is the things that we do. It is the habits that we enact every single day. It is the behaviors. It is, where do we choose to focus our energy on, right? What are we choosing to allow into our space? Because I see triggers, I see pain, I see shadow. Like right now, we're collectively experiencing a shadow, right? Like everyone is starting to be opened up to probably some of the worst sides of themselves because they're stuck in quarantine, they're stuck in isolation. They are actually, for the first time, having to pause and reflect, right? This is why I believe that leaders and people that have undergone their spiritual awakening and have learned tools and ways to cope, manage, and handle fear, stress, anxiety, depression are so needed in the world right now, because there are people for the very first time stuck alone with their thoughts, stuck alone with themselves, and really having to think about, who am I? What do I want out of life? Everything that I thought was secure is no longer secure. What am I going to do? Like, you know, who am I going to be? And
the identity crisis that they're going through. I've gone through that way too many times. I'm a pro at it. Hit me up if you have an identity crisis.
Me too.
I still go through it.
Me too. I know.
I couldn't even believe it. I worked my butt off. I got the job. I got the dream job. I got the radio show. I was ready to go, and then just like whoop, everything just vanished. And I'm like, damn it, who am I?
Yes. It's so true.
I know. And that's when you need to really do the things that you don't like to do, which is dig into yourself and be like, how can I fix this? You know, because so often things just are out of our control. And this is such a perfect example of that. And when things are out of our control, all we can do is control the things that we have control over. And that's so hard to do sometimes, you know, because that anxiety kicks in, that self-doubt kicks in. And it just, like you said, it just goes back to the basics, Kristen, of just, you know, reaffirming things for yourself and stuff like that. But I actually wanted to ask you something. You talked a lot about like the subconscious and the conscious thoughts, right? Which I think some people confuses them a little bit. It still does confuse me to this day, because there's so many things that I've healed from, right? Like in my past that people heal from in their past, but there's other things that I have yet to heal from. And I don't know if I feel those in my body, but I just know I haven't healed from them yet because I haven't really sat down and really thought about it, right? So what do you guys say when you've healed through things that have been traumatic, but then, you know, there's other things in your life that you haven't healed yet, but you don't know if it's there, you don't know if you're feeling it. So like, do you take a day to write that down and to feel it? Like, what if it's not in your mind at that time? So why make yourself more stressful and crazy trying to heal something that you don't even know if it's affecting you yet?
Yeah. I would say that I think it's so important, because I think we're always trying to fix ourselves. We're always trying to change, especially if you're in the world of personal development. Like I was so caught up in the healing, right? And doing the shadow work and the inner child work and you name it. I was like Tony Robbins UPW Summit in Dallas, Texas, like $20,000+ on every type of course and mentor and mastermind you can imagine. And just constantly like trying to tweak, change, and become the best version of myself. And I can tell you, sweetie, that honestly, it's perpetual. The journey is ongoing. It is never ending, but you know, you don't have to suffer, and you don't have to like put that pressure on yourself to have it all figured out. And you don't have to know, because you are going to continuously learn along the path. You know, things are going to come up and things are going to come into your life that you're going to start peeling back the layers, and you'll notice, you know, because I believe that the most beautiful thing that we can do is let go, is surrender, is trust the process, is have faith in the unseen, is to, even though we don't really know, you know, what there is left to heal, right? We're never going to be healed or recovered. I believe that we're always on the journey of healing. We're always on the journey of recovering. And so I guess my biggest piece is, instead of us always trying to focus on fixing and changing, because for me, I feel like it's really a journey of remembering. It's a journey of becoming who we are, who we have always been. Like you are unlearning and unbecoming everything you've been conditioned to experience, to feel, to believe, to become a conduit for your divine gifts, to become a conduit for the truth of who you are, which is love, which is joy, which is bliss, which is innately and immeasurably powerful, which is enoughness, which is bigness, which is boldness, whatever you want it to be. And so I always try to tell people when I'm talking to them, it's like, don't focus on trying to fix yourself or to change yourself. Try to accept yourself for all that you are, acknowledge it. Don't sit in it. Don't dwell in it. Don't dwell in the feelings, but honor yourself for the negative emotions that come up. Honor yourself for what it's there to teach you, because I believe through our triggers, through our pain, through our trauma, there is actually so much space for us to heal, because when we acknowledge it and accept it, we can then release it and let it go, so we can actually make space for more of what we want to enter into our lives. And continually throughout your life, when you're going through certain things, you're going to learn the things when you're meant to learn them, all in divine timing.
Woo, that was
Love
so
that.
Oh my God.
That was so perfect. That's
That made my heart so happy.
I have
So
to let
spot
you,
on.
I
That
have
was
to let you guys
amazing.
know.
That was.
Yeah, that I like my intuitive gifts shine through when I'm speaking. So sometimes
Yeah.
like I'm just getting used to being like a channel for all of this. So it's like when it's coming in so fast, sometimes I'm losing track. I'm noticing that like never happens to me, but I'm obviously so inspired by this conversation that there are so many messages that I'm feeling called to share. So if I'm kind of like, that's why. And it's just because I'm feeling the call to share so much with you guys right now, and to share so much with your audience on this journey, because I just want people to love themselves more and forgive themselves more and show themselves more grace, the same grace and love that they show, the same compassion that they show to everyone else. And part of that comes with acknowledgement and acceptance of all of who you are.
Exactly, and that's why, like, a lot of people ask me, Brittany, why did you call the show Beautiful Broken? Why not Beautifully Broken? And I'm like, because we are beautiful and we are also broken. It's two different parts that come together, and that's why our symbol is a circle, and that's why in the middle it's a heart. Because I actually did a lot of research today on our heart, and I believe a broken heart produces cynicism in the world, and that's why a heart is it's so important to protect. It's so important to heal if you have a broken heart. I definitely am healing my own heart from past traumas. And I have to say that it was the first time this year when my heart got broken, and I really understood why people were negative and why they were selfish and why they want to protect themselves. Because after you get your heart broken, it's like you don't want anyone to come near you. But that's the beauty, but also the struggle, is that if you have that wall up and you're protecting your heart, you're blocking all the gifts that God and the universe and whatever you believe in want to give you. So it's like you have to find that courage and that strength and that faith, or whatever you believe in, to trust the right person to let them in. It's so scary though. Oh my gosh.
My love is just so powerful too, because no matter, we wouldn't be so heartbroken. We wouldn't feel so sad if we didn't love so deeply. If we didn't love, then we wouldn't care. And we feel these ways because we loved that boy so much, or because we loved our parents so much and they couldn't give us what we needed. Yeah. It always comes back to love. And I know it sounds like I'm so spiritual, but it is, because it really always comes back to love. Because if you didn't love, you wouldn't feel pain. You only feel pain because your heart loves so deeply. And I just think it's heartbreakingly beautiful. It's beautiful broken.
We have a couple minutes left. If you wanted to say anything to our audience, if our audience has any questions for you, this is the time to ask. So I'm just going to let you wrap it up, and then thank you so much for being here.
Thank you guys so much for having me. One of the things that came through when you were saying that, Brittany, was my father used to always say, hurt people, and when we can start to look at people like human beings, right? Because we're all experiencing some level of pain. And it doesn't mean that we excuse bad behavior. It just means that we see people for the human beings that they are. And that allows us to forgive and to release any resentments or pain, so that we can open our heart to healing. And I believe that love is the most powerful universal healing energy on the planet. And I always say, when I have to fit into a box, I'm here to spread love. I am here to be love. I am here to embody love. And I'm telling you, the most powerful journey you'll ever go on is the one within yourself, and learning to cultivate that deep and meaningful relationship with yourself. The most beautiful love story that you'll ever write is the one that you have with yourself. And once you start to recognize that all that you seek is within, and again, it's a journey, and you do not have to be fully healed or love yourself so much. My loving myself is a practice. It's something I choose every single day. I wake up and I have to choose it. Self-love is not something that you obtain or chase just like a degree or something else. It is something that you work for. It is something that you practice. It is ongoing. And like we said, just because these principles are simple does not make it easy. But once I started to actually do that and go within and release and let go and detach from any outcome, right? After 5 years of going from a relationship that was with a narcissist and toxic to dating all the almost and the could have beens and the should have beens and the would have beens, right? But when I started to really go within and heal myself on a deep level and not just emotionally, right? On the four bodies, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, physically, because everything is energy at the end of the day. So when things are stuck energetically, right, we feel it in our body. So once we start to heal on each of those layers, we release and let go of a lot of the stuff that we've experienced and we open our heart. And so for me, I feel like the true journey was opening my heart to receiving love. I had always been really great at giving love. I was never great at receiving love. And
Amen to that.
My heart to that, I'm telling you guys, like if you're seeking a soulmate, if you're looking for the love of your life, if you're seeking your dream job, if you're seeking your dream house and car and all those things that you seek, peel that back, because 9 times out of 10 we're looking for a feeling. We're not chasing a thing. We're not chasing a material possession, because love isn't a feeling. Love is a state of being. Love is who we are. Love is what we are. And so when you can embrace that, embody that, practice that every single day, you will attract the things that you want, whether it be love, whether it be a job, whether it be an opportunity, whether it be a relationship, whether it be friendships or tribe or community. But whatever it is, you will start to attract that into your life when you start to heal the parts of yourself that you've run from and the parts of yourself that you've hidden away with the world. So.
Oh, Kristen, what a beautiful soul you are. Please keep shining. The world needs more people like you. Everybody, if you're looking for Kristen, her Instagram is really simple. It's Kristen_Daniele, and in the bio, she has 2 platforms that she's the co-founder of Soul Business Network, and then she's also, are you still the founder of the other one as well?
Yep, I'm still the founder of Souls on the Rise, yep.
So if you guys have any more questions, if you want to reach out to her, please reach out to her. Kristen, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you, Kristen. You are so amazing.
We're going to go to a quick commercial break, and then we'll be right back to close you guys out.
Yeah.
There. Can I tell you a cat joke? Just kidding. Why did the girl ask the mushroom to dance? Because he was a fun guy. What do you call a pig that knows karate? Pork chop. Why was the basketball court all wet? Why? Because the players kept dribbling all over it. Can I tell you another one? So how does a tissue dance? Put a little boogie on it. What's Beethoven's favorite fruit? Banana. What is a boxer's favorite drink? Fruit punch.
Sorry, sometimes I forget. Back. All right, thank you everyone.
That was quick, huh?
It was so quick. Thank you everyone for joining us for Beautiful Broken. Again, we will be on next Tuesday, May 5th at 8 o'clock. We'll be posting on social media what all that will be about. Kylie, wasn't she just great? What was one of the things you learned mostly from her?
Yeah, I mean, she touched on so many phenomenal topics. I love her perspective. I love her mindset. I think the biggest thing that we really need to take away is just understanding that healing and the self-love and being happy is a journey. It's a process. I think we so often want instant gratification, and it just doesn't exist, especially when it comes to our emotions and our feelings. And I think another thing that's important is just feeling those feelings, letting it go, not letting them sit in our bodies. And again, just trusting the process, enjoying the process, and being kind to ourselves.
That is definitely something I agree with, definitely something I struggle with. We definitely live in a society where emotional healing and talking this openly about emotion seems weird or uncomfortable and we overfeel, but that is who we are, especially as women. We love emotion, and if we act like it's not a part of us, I get really grumpy, and I don't like that.
I know. No, I get it. I feel like that's why I've been having such a grumpy day today, because I just want to like be talking to people and just like spreading the love, and I'm sure we're just all stuck home. You know what I mean? I know you understand. I know you feel that too. But these talks are like the best. Are like the best things of my week. I love inspiration. I love the love. And I'm grateful to know you, Britt. I'm grateful to share all of this wisdom with everyone, you know, here on Performer.com every Tuesday. Beautiful Broken.
All my kings and queens out there, you are perfect just the way you are. We love you exactly as you are. You might be hurting, you might be sad. This whole quarantine life might be tough, but just stay strong. Reach out to us if you need support. Reach out to us if you need a positive lift. We're here for you guys. This journey is not easy, but I promise you, it's worth it.
It's worth it, for sure. See you guys.